Gold FM is #1 here in Sigatoka.
Gold FM is our favorite radio station here in Waltoka.
Gold FM is #1 in Nel.
I love listening to Gold FM in Ba.
We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits here in Suva.
Hear about Coca-Cola, you immediately think of gold. I'm Josephine Sabi and I love hearing Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
In this bulletin, police officer's body found in freezer at police compound. 1,000 people seek reimbursement for losses from microfinance companies. And a high-level UN delegation here for a series of meetings. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. An investigation is underway into the discovery of a police officer's body in a freezer at the Police Special Response Unit in 8 Miles Nasinu this morning. The victim was last seen drinking with 2 other officers from the barracks in the weekend, and when they returned to the compound, he asked to rest at the canteen. When they came back to check on him, he was missing and a search was conducted, but they were unable to find him. The officer's body was found by a police carpenter when he opened the freezer this morning.
We have a team that is looking into that incident, and more will be revealed at a later stage.
A post-mortem will be conducted as the investigation continues. More than 1,000 people who lost their savings in several microfinance companies have registered their claims for reimbursement with the government. Mika Longa reports a total of $712,000 was lost in alleged unscrupulous dealings by the operators of these companies.
A total of $510,000 in microfinance savings was lost in the Western Division alone.
$23,000 was lost in Microfinance Central Eastern, $81,000 in Lambasa, $36,000 was lost in the Tikina of Buyambua, Nakuilava $32,000, and Kandabu $84,000.
Trade and Investment Ministry officials told a Radio Fiji One talkback show today victims can expect to be reimbursed by the end of the month by way of cash, check and bank deposits. Cabinet decided to reimburse the losses earlier this year.
Many of the victims deposit their savings generated from fishing and farming businesses in the microfinance companies because they are far from the banks. This is a serious issue.
The actions of the microfinance operators have prompted the government to draft new laws to prevent the recurrence of such incidents in the future. Several people are being questioned by the police.
The police are doing their investigations. We have given them names of individual suspects. We will be submitting a joint report to Cabinet.
Most of the victims lost between $2,000 and $11,000 in cash savings in the 5 microfinance companies. The decision by government to reimburse them has renewed hope in the lives of 9,200 people affected. Mikalonga, FBC News.
The proposed Fiji First political party has deferred registering with the Elections Office today. The proposed party is still collecting more signatures. FBC News understands proposed party leader Vorengem Bainimarama will move to areas which he is yet to visit to gather signatures. The proposed party is also awaiting signatures from the maritime zones. Bainimarama will finalize the numbers, then apply for registration with the Elections Office. The political party's decree says a party must have at least 5,000 members from all 4 divisions of Fiji, 2,000 from the Central Division, 1,750 members from the West, 1,000 from the North, and 250 members from the Eastern Division. A delegation of the Executive Board and Governing Body of the United Nations Development Programme, Population Fund and Office for Project Funds is currently in the country. The purpose of their visit is to enhance their understanding of the way UN organizations work with Pacific Island countries. Vosita Kotewasawasa reports.
Thank you.
The delegation met with permanent representatives of Pacific Island countries to the UN in New York prior to their arrival in Fiji.
One of the areas that we're going to be having a very good look at is the whole area of gender equality, because if you look at the Pacific Islands region, we are one of the poorest performers in the world when it comes to numbers of women in government structures, particularly parliaments. So that's all through our region. We have a very low compared with world norms.
Thompson says another area of concern is gender violence. The delegation will also be looking at how countries, with the assistance of the UN, work on reducing poverty.
It's all very well to bring down poverty rates in your country, but if that's a macro indicator, if people are being left behind and others are shooting ahead, then that's not healthy development for a country. We're looking at inclusive development. That's a part of UNDP's strategic plan. Not just being applied to any one country, it's being applied globally by UNDP.
Climate change is also on the agenda.
Environmental management and disaster risk is a very important part of UNDP's work, helping governments strengthen their capabilities in those areas of climate change, disaster risk management, and environmental degradation, improving on that situation.
The delegation, which is led by Thompson, will visit Samoa later this week. Visita Kotiwaswasa, FBC News.
Coming up after the break, land identified for rice farming program in the Northern Division.
Gonga elambasa Mbula FM number 2 na sere.
Ndo talita kana borong na Mbula FM number 2 na sere su.
Kau buat itu gerak-geraki, au rebut juga nistima, au ndo talita kana borong na Mbula.
Bola bina Fiji, Bola FM number 2 singa toka. Bola bina eranroga, Bola FM number 2 tikonga.
Bola FM number 2 na sere.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. Fiji has progressed in the number of babies being vaccinated over the past few years. Now, with the help of the government and development partners, as well as support from the public, the Health Ministry hopes to achieve 100% vaccination coverage. Josephine Navula reports.
At the launch of the National Immunization Week in Suva today, it was revealed that more babies have been vaccinated, but the Ministry of Health are still looking at improving other areas of concerns. The National Immunization Week hopes to reach a higher figure, at the same time ensuring people of all ages are protected against diseases.
Our own National Immunization Week this year is focusing, as I said earlier, on hepatitis B, vaccination at birth to prevent liver cancer. As you know, immunization around the world is widely recognized as one of the most successful and cost-effective health intervention ever introduced. And it works.
The government fully supports the immunization program.
I'm sure with the Fijian government and development partners' commitment, coupled with the non-Fiji public support for the immunization program, our aim of achieving 100% coverage can be achieved.
The World Health Organization endorsed the Global Vaccines Action Plan from 2012 to 2020, which provides the framework for immunizations efforts across the world and aims to extend full benefits of immunizations to all people.
The Immunization Week was observed simultaneously in all the WHO 6 regions for the first time in 2012, with the participation of more than 180 countries, territories and areas worldwide.
Latest survey shown here in Fiji have found that 95% of babies have been vaccinated, compared to 79% in 2006. Sitting here with me is a healthy baby that has just been vaccinated today. Josephine Navula, FBC News.
The government is focusing on revitalizing rice farming in the Northern Division. Apisalome Toka reports.
Fijians currently consume $40 million worth of rice annually, and the government wants this dependency on imports to decrease.
Right now we are already identifying lands that were planted with rice before, and we are now revisiting the communities for them to replant rice again. To plant rice again, it's fetching good money. It's $750 for a ton of rice.
There will be a lot of work required to kickstart rice farming in the communities.
We are going to have awareness and then train the youths of how they can plant rice, and we are going to take them down to Rikiti to have a feel for themselves how they use the machines and witness rice paddocks in Rikiti, in Madwata. That's what we're doing now.
Interest in our rice farming sector has also caught the attention of overseas investors.
one of the investors came from Australia. He has already leased a 100-acre land in Munibutu, Nandongo. So that's how we are supporting the rice farmers now, and we are trying to get in the machine. I think the best way to do for us to plant rice is go mechanizing. We use machines. We can no longer use spades and fork. Now we have to go mechanizing so that we can improve on our rice.
The Commissioner Northern says there will be a Fiji Rice Field Day in the north soon to support their plan to boost rice farming on Puno level. The ultimate plan is to reduce the rice import bill by $5 million annually. Happy Salome Doka, FBC News.
The National Federation Party plans to reconsider price control if it is elected in the September general elections. Leader Biman Prasad says an NFP-led government would limit interference in the market. Chanel Sivan reports.
Price controls are regulated by governments to maintain affordability of basic food and other necessary items. In Fiji, it has been in place for several years, and the oldest political party, the NFP, intends to review how price controls are carried out.
Controlling the price artificially and telling the businesses that you cannot sell this product at this price just because you think the price is very high and the people can't afford it. That's not the best way of controlling prices. Look at the reason for why the prices have gone up. And this is what I'm saying, that when we come into government, we will look at the reasons behind the increase in prices. That sometimes interfering in the market, interfering in the way people want to buy and sell things is actually counterproductive.
Prasad adds the NFP will formulate policies to address poverty.
Price control is not the best way to make sure that people are able to afford what they should, at the level of income they have. So my problem with price control is the way it's being implemented, and it's not healthy and it's not appropriate in all the cases.
Price control in Fiji began on February 1975. It was called the Commerce Price Control Petroleum Prices Order of 1975.
I was in Vanuatu last week, and I went, and people have shown me shops that they've closed because of this ridiculous idea of controlling prices of anything, anywhere, at any time. Some of these retail shops in the outer islands, in the rural areas, apart from providing, apart from selling some of the items, they are providing services to the people.
The NFP has also indicated it intends to review the role of the Commerce Commission, which is the competition and commerce regulator in Fiji. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
We turn to sports now, and here's Jamie with the latest.
Bulubinaka in sports tonight, Coach Ben Ryan has big hopes for Viliame Mata heading into the final leg of the 7 Series, and Fiji football under-20 begin its New Zealand tour. Details after the break.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Singapore.
और किसके सुनिए यार, हमारा एक सच्चा साथी है मिर्ची एफएम लंबा साथी.
I love Mirchi FM. It's so hot. देखे में लाल लाल, खाए में हाय हाय. Tangi tauwa में Mirchi FM is hot.
Here at Rugby Town, Singapore, love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Suva. It's hot.
हम इंग्लिश लंबा सा में रहता है. डोके का बताइए मिर्ची एफएम सुनता है.
Mirchi FM, बहुत जुलूम जुलूम.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Welcome back to FBC Sports. Vodafone Fiji Sevens rep Viliame Mata will be a player to watch at the upcoming Glasgow and London tournaments. Coach Ben Ryan is banking on the giant forward to make a strong showing in the last 2 legs of the RB series. Tsalenda Vakavaka has more.
Despite the fact his international debut was cut short by a knee injury during the Wellington Sevens this year, he's past that now, and Viliame Mata is expected to add more strength to the national side.
And Viliame Mata coming back after a really impressive debut in Wellington, and semis hit some form in Nawaka as well, and got his head down and has been one of the leaders in the fitness testing. So yeah, 4 big forwards.
Mata brings a versatile edge to the forward pack and provides a strong challenge to regulars Pio Tuai and Semi Kunatani for the starting role.
What I expect from him is physicality, go forward. He's a big lump and he can shift. He always gets his hands free well for the offload, and he's a clever defender. Technically he's good, gets himself in the right positions, and out of all the forwards we've had this season, he's probably got the lowest penalty count out of all of them. He's very disciplined, so that's good to have a player like that does the basics very well.
The 12-member team resumed their training camp at Deumba today. Chalendo Rakarak, FBC Sports.
The Fiji Under-20 football side embarked on an 8-match tour of New Zealand this morning. The tour will serve as a solid build-up for the Ravinesh Kumar coach side to the Oceania World Cup playoffs in May. Chalendo Rakarak reports.
The road to the FIFA Under-20 World Cup will not be an easy one. The national Under-20 side were reminded of this as they departed for New Zealand this morning. The side will take on teams like the New Zealand Under-20s, Waitakere United and Eastern Suburbs. It is the match against the Junior All Whites that will be a true test for the young side.
Both the teams will be of the same age category, and then we will get a clear result of what our boys need to improve onto. The strengths and the weaknesses will be identified in that game.
The players will have no trouble in executing the game plan as they have had quite a long preparation.
It's no problem. The squad have been training very well since January together. They play so many games, so everything is ready. But this is the last part of the preparation before the World Cup.
The team will return on the 10th of next month in time for the Oceania qualifiers in Suva. Chalendo Rakarak, FBC Sports.
Cricket Fiji has announced a 38-member squad to prepare for the East Asia Pacific Division 6 qualifiers in New South Wales, Australia. But other players who are unable to play in the Easter Championship could force their way into the squad. Mothe skipper Maika Kamikamida and 9 players from the champion Mothe side are in the squad, along with 3 Fijians that played for the Australian-based Western Suburbs team.
Guys that were selected from the Western Suburbs team. 2 of them played played the last season in Perth. One of them in Melbourne. The other one, Joseph Ndambe, is now working in Lambasa and was invited by them to be part of the team. So with all these 3 coming in, no doubt the overseas exposure that they have had is also vital.
The East Asia Cricket qualifiers will be held in November. Manchester City moved within 6 points of English Premier League leaders Liverpool with a 3-1 victory over West Brom. Pablo Zabaleta headed in the opening goal after 2 minutes before Sergio Aguero drove in the second from 20 yards out. Graham Dorrans pulled one back for West Brom with fine effort before Martin Demichelis sealed the win for City in the 36th minute.
Sammy Nasser's cross. Poor header. Aguero! And Zabaleta! City doing much as they please so far. Such of that one West Brom attack. There's Aguero! 2! Are they in the mood?
Composed himself into the far corner. No real bend on it. I think the speed of which he hits that catches Foster unawares. Dzeko just blocks Foster's view into the far corner.
Feed Stefan Sessignon for West Brom. Dorrans with a lung-bursting run. Vidra. Dorrans in support. Graham Dorrans! What a fine goal that is! I think it was a freak gust rather than a general problem. Good delivery. Demichelis scores.
And that was your sports for tonight. It's back to Jackie now with business.
The Yatule Beach Resort at Nathandola in Singatoka will close at the end of the month for renovation. The resort has been operating at a loss and is in urgent need of upgrading. Yatule Beach Resort Limited has resolved to renovate the facilities and outsource management to turn the financial losses around. The current staff will be offered redundancy packages and they will have an opportunity to apply for positions at the resort with the new operator. The resort will be closed from May 1st to October 31st. Let's check on today's weather, and here is Trish.
Well, with the long Easter weekend, it was fine weather all over. Today is the same story for the jet-set town of Nandi, Lautoka, Ba and Lambasa. But for the beautiful paradise of Savu Savu and also here in the capital Suva, it was fine in the morning, but there will be scattered brief showers in the afternoon. Temperatures today, the only one on 30 is Savu Savu, and Suva reached 31. Nandi and Lautoka hit 32 degrees, and the highest was Ba on 33. Tomorrow's forecast for Suva and Savu Savu, there'll be fine weather in the morning, but a chance of brief showers in the afternoon. As for the rest of the centers, Nandi, Lautoka, Ba and Lambasa, good news, as you can expect fine weather all over. This beautiful sunset was caught by Arishma Nandan of New Sour Methodist High School in Taviuni.
Thanks so much for that, Trish. Here are the main points again. An investigation is underway into the discovery of a police officer's body in a freezer at the Police Special Response Unit in Nasinu this morning. The registration of the proposed Fiji First political party today has been deferred until a later date as proposed party officials gather signatures from the maritime and other areas. And more than 1,000 people who lost their savings from unscrupulous practices of 5 microfinance companies can expect to be reimbursed by the end of the month, says the Ministry of Trade. To our poll question now, we're asking, are you familiar with the elections voting process? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's all from us here at FBC House. I will be back tomorrow. Until then, good evening.
Today FM is #1 here in Singataka.
We like Today FM in Lambasa. It rocks!
My favorite station in Nandi is Today FM.
Listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks in Suva.
Lautoka City love today's kid music.
I love Today FM because they play all my songs.
We love Today FM at Vuniva Lambasa. Yeah, it rocks!
I love Today FM because it rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.